Welcome back to Popcorn Plots, where you find the best breakdowns of the movies you love. I'm your host, Danielson Giorgio, and today we're going to be taking a look at John Wick, a movie that seriously flipped the script on action films and brought Keanu Reeves back into the spotlight in a huge way. Now, if you're an action movie fan, you know this one's special. But stick with me even if you haven't seen it. We're going to unpack why John Wick is so much more than just your typical revenge flick. If you love these kinds of movie reviews, make sure you hit that subscribe button and leave a comment below, letting me know what other movies you'd like to see us break down. All right, let's jump right in. John Wick hit the screens back in 2014, and it took a pretty classic revenge plot and turned it into something truly unique. What's the hook? Well, I meet John Wick, this legendary hitman, who's trying to leave his past behind. He's finally found peace, and then bam, Russian mobsters barge into his life, stealing his car, and doing the unthinkable, killing his dog, Daisy. This wasn't just any dog. She was a gift from his late wife, a symbol of the life they had together.
And now what's brilliant here is that the movie taps into something way more relatable than just a thirst for revenge. It's about love loss and the lengths we go to protect the memory of those we've lost. Don't forget to give this video a like if you're feeling that emotional connection already. And tell me in the comments, have you ever felt that fierce protectiveness over something that represents a lost loved one? But here's where John Wick truly stands out. It's not just about one man's quest for vengeance. It drops us right into this hidden world, a secret society of assassins, bound by a strict code and ruled by the mysterious High Table. We get glimpses of this intricate world through places like the Continental Hotel. It's this luxurious safe haven for assassins, a place where they can relax, trade information, and most importantly, follow the rules. No business can be conducted on Continental grounds. It's fascinating, right? They even have their own currency, these gold coins that emphasize how separate this world is from our own. It's these details that make you feel like you've stumbled upon a secret society operating right under our noses. And then there's John Wick himself.
He's not your typical action hero, cracking jokes and mowing down enemies without a scratch. He's quiet. He's suffered immense loss, and that grief is palpable. You can see it in every step he takes, every punch he throws. It makes his quest for revenge feel so much more personal, so much more desperate, and that's what makes it resonate right. You understand why this revenge means everything to him. It's not just about killing, it's about reclaiming a piece of the life that was stolen from him. Now no action movie is complete without a memorable cast of characters, and John Wick delivers on that front. We have Viggo Tarasov, the ruthless Russian mob boss who makes the fatal mistake of underestimating John. Let's be real, messing with John Wick's dog is like poking a sleeping bear with a very sharp stick. And then there's Aurelio, the mechanic, who immediately recognizes John's lethal skills and knows enough to stay on his good side. Even these supporting characters add depth to the world, reminding us that this isn't just a story about John, it's about a whole network of individuals caught in this web of violence and consequence. So I want to hear from you. What are your first impressions of John Wick's world?
Is it the intricate rules, the sense of history, or the sheer coolness of it all? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're there, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our future movie breakdowns. Now, we can't talk about John Wick without diving into the action, but before we do, let's take a quick second to appreciate how the film builds suspense. It's not just nonstop chaos. There are these deliberate moments of quiet, like when John's walking through the Continental, the tension hanging thick in the air, or those scenes where he's meticulously preparing his weapons. Those quiet moments make the action hit even harder when it explodes onto the screen. And when that action hits, let me tell you, it's a game changer. The director, Chad Stahelski, comes from a stunt background, and that expertise is evident in every fight scene. The choreography is breathtaking, a mix of brutal efficiency and almost balletic grace. They call it gun fu, this blend of martial arts and gunplay, and it's become iconic. Think about that nightclub scene. It's not just about the punches and gunshots. It's about the way they use light and shadow slow motion and that pulsing electronic soundtrack to create this heart-pounding, visually stunning experience. It's pure cinematic poetry in motion. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and tell me what makes this scene stand out for you. But what I find really fascinating is that John Wick isn't afraid to slow down and let the tension simmer. It's not all about explosive action. There's a rhythm to the storytelling. We see John navigating this world with a quiet intensity. He's interacting with other assassins, following the code, even finding moments of solace amidst the chaos. It's in those quieter moments that we get a glimpse into the depth of John's character. We see the toll this life has taken on him, the weight of his past, the loneliness of his existence. It makes you realize that John isn't just a killing machine. He's a man trapped in a world he can't escape. It's his emotional complexity that elevates John Wick above your typical action flick. It's a story about loss, about consequence,
about the struggle to find meaning in a life defined by violence. And speaking of this world assassins, the movie does an incredible job of building a hierarchy within this criminal underworld. You have the High Table, the shadowy council that governs the assassins. Then you have figures like Vigo, powerful mob bosses who operate within that system. And of course, there's the Continental with its own set of rules and its enigmatic concierge Winston. It's like a glimpse into an alternate reality, a society that exists alongside our own but operates by its own code. And the film doesn't shy away from exploring the consequences of breaking that code. Remember what happens when someone violates the sanctuary of the Continental.
It's a stark reminder that in this world, actions have very real and often brutal consequences. But beyond the action and the world building, John Wick also excels in its visual storytelling. The film is drenched in this neo-noir aesthetic, with deep reds, blacks, and blues dominating the color palette. The use of neon lights, especially in the nightclub scenes, adds this layer of stylish grit. It's not just about looking cool, it's about creating a specific mood and atmosphere. These visual choices pull you deeper into John's world, a world that's both alluring and dangerous. And then there's the soundtrack, this blend of pulsating electronic music and haunting melodies. It's not just background noise, it's woven into the fabric of the film, heightening the tension and adding to the emotional impact of each scene. The music during the action sequences is particularly effective, driving the pace and creating a sense of relentless energy. So we've got this incredible blend of high-octane action, intricate world building, and stunning visuals. But at its core, John Wick is a character-driven story. If you haven't already, do yourself a favor and check out this movie. You won't regret it. And make sure you're subscribed to Popcorn Plot so you don't miss out on our next deep dive into the movies you love. And what makes this movie truly resonate, what sets it apart from other action flicks, is that it's not afraid to explore the emotional weight of John's actions. It acknowledges that violence has consequences, that revenge comes at a cost. Think about it, John's quest for vengeance isn't just about punishing those who wronged him. It's about grappling with his own grief, trying to make sense of the senseless. The death of his wife Helen and the symbolic killing of Daisy, that puppy she left him, it's like they ripped away the last shred of happiness he had. And his journey back into this world of violence. It's not just about retribution, it's about trying to reclaim some part of himself, some part of that life he lost. It's a raw and powerful exploration of grief and loss. And it adds a layer of depth that you rarely see in action movies. And, it's that emotional core that makes us connect with John, even though he's this incredibly skilled assassin. We understand his pain, his rage, his desperation, and that makes us invested in his journey. We're not just watching him mow down enemies, we're watching him fight for his very soul. It's a reminder that even in the darkest of places, even in the midst of violence, there's still a glimmer of humanity. And the impact of John Wick is undeniable. What started as a standalone film has exploded into a full-fledged franchise. Sequels, comics, video games. The world they've created is so rich, so detailed that it demands to be explored further. And I think it's safe to say that John Wick raised the bar for action movies. It proved that you can have incredible action sequences, stylish visuals, and a compelling story without sacrificing character development or emotional depth. It showed that action movies can be more than just mindless spectacle, and that's a legacy that continues to influence the genre today. So there you have it, John Wick. A movie that redefined action cinema. It's a film that will grab you with its intense action and stunning visuals, but stay with you because of its emotional depth and thought-provoking themes. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future episodes of Popcorn Plots, where we bring you the best breakdowns of the movies you love. Until next time, keep watching those awesome movies.